Now this is funny. People only leave the left to go to the right side of history. People only leave the Democrat Party and join the Republican Party. Why is it not the other way around? And it's not. You show me a video of people going, I'm just tired of conservatives. I'm tired of the right. I'm going to join the left. It's the opposite. It's always the opposite. It's never the other way around. Why is that? Is that because people are just waking up? People are fed up with the bullshit, the racist gaslighting from the Democrat Party? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Because, I mean, the Republicans are fueled up. Like, the Democrats are crashing.
What's up, taters? This is Tree from treeoflogic.com. And so basically, I wanted to finish this video because I was collecting a lot of people who were on the left or on the center left and have now left the left, I guess you can say, and have come to the right, or they come to the conservative or the Republican Party. And I collected most of these people who were telling their stories, but I've also collected a couple of conservatives who have experienced a lot of bad behavior from the left, especially this crazy lunatic right here from the Alphabet crew. Yo, wait till you see the vile things that come out of her mouth. And then you will see why this party is going to be losing. Now, the reason why I'm documenting this is because I want to see how long this is going to last. Let me know what you think, because they don't have anybody for the 2028 election. I think we're just going to have back to back three times in a row a Republican president. I don't see how the Republicans are going to lose the Senate and the House come in 2 years. So these people just keep going crazy. And this is what I'm talking about. Check this out.
I would like for you to die of measles, of polio, of all the horrible diseases that living in this country, in this bubble of privilege and ignorance and morbid stupidity, you have the luxury of not having to worry about it because it doesn't really affect you. I hope it affects you. I hope it affects your children and your grandchildren. I hope it guts your community. That will make my life meaningful and extremely happy.
Wow, what an amazing experience.
Did you get all of that?
What an amazing experience it was.
Imagine saying something so vile to a bunch of white guys dressed up as wizards. I mean, maybe they support Elon Musk. Of course, they're supporting Doge. But to just come up and say the most vile things, wish the most harmful things on them, just because they support something that you oppose. These people are mentally insane. So now let's get into the videos where we have a couple of leftists or liberals or Democrats, registered Democrats, who have left that side and now have come to the center right or the right.
You know, I used to consider myself left-wing. I used to go to protests. I was out there on the streets. I've been tear-gassed, all of that stuff. I used to hate Trump and conservatives, and the whole idea of Trump ever being in office was like blasphemy to me. And then COVID happened. And then I moved to Portland, Oregon. And then I realized those people that I was protesting with, they're not really mentally all well. And then I realized, looking back at the person that I used to be compared to now, and how like, wow, I was full of rage and hate, and I was aimless. I just wanted to try to fight Trump supporters and shit. I didn't have any real direction. I wasn't making any real change. But I moved out to Portland, and I lived here for 3 years, and not only have I changed my political stance after walking around the streets and seeing all like the homelessness and animal abuse and drug abuse, it's literally absurd and disgusting. I don't know how any human that's empathetic could walk past that on a regular basis and be okay with it, let alone anybody that considers themselves to be a progressive liberal. Like, It is not okay. This is not normal. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I was around people in West Virginia, and I thought those were out of touch white people. But then I came to Portland and realized what out of touch white people really are. And then I learned what a snowflake really is. It is literally disgusting. Nobody wants to do their job. No such thing as like customer service. Everybody thinks they should be like glorified just for showing up to work. It is the most disgusting place I have ever lived, not just because of the streets, but because of the people that make it up. You have so many gender bending people with bumper stickers on their cars advertising the fact that their kid is non-binary. You're basically glorifying mental illness. Straight up. I don't care what you say, that's what's going on. And these used to be people that I would protest with, and now I'm able to have conversations with Trump supporters and conservatives way more than I can have a conversation with a liberal. Like, it's just so out of whack and out of touch. And whatever happened to caring about the environment, by the way? Whatever happened to caring about, like, food and, like, animal welfare and stuff like that? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? All you care about is, like, gender and aborting babies. That's literally it. It's kind of weird. And I am not the only person that was left their whole life up until these last couple years. Period. I promise you that. I know that. I mean, look at the goddamn numbers.
Wasn't it just a couple years ago that liberals all were running out to get Teslas and electric vehicles because they were great for the environment and everyone was going to just pitch in and do their part? And they didn't care if the car could only go 300 miles and they'd have to pull in and plug it in and hope that they could get to their destination in a timely manner. And who cares about gas, whatever. Everyone's, it's hippity-dippity, right? And I can tell you this because I was a hippity-dippity. I'm still kind of hippity-dippity, but not to the extreme, you know what I mean? Now all of a sudden, people don't like Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a problem now. So instead of reveling and telling everyone about your Tesla and how cool you are, now they're all being set on fire because people don't like Elon Musk and they don't like Donald Trump. And so now, I'm outraged. I'm going to go to a dealership and I'm going to set a bunch of these cars on fire. Or I think I'm going to set my own car on fire because I want to make a point. I want to tell people how angry I am. And I'm outraged. To show you how outraged I am, I'm going to set a bunch of cars on fire because that literally makes no sense. Yeah.
Everyone's telling their walk away from the Democratic Party stories, and here's mine. When Trump was elected in 2016, I literally thought the world was ending. My husband and I would argue I was deranged. My husband had encouraged me to try to do my best to listen to both sides. So for the 2020 election, I made the commitment that I was going to watch the DNC, the RNC, take in as much information that I could about both sides, make a decision from there. First night of the DNC, I was like, okay, let's see what's going on. They came out of the gate, defund the police. Some of you may know, but my husband is a police officer. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't agree with that. Defunding the police would be dumb because then we're going to have more crime. Then we won't have good police officers. They then started talking about transitioning children, weak border security, free everything for everyone. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. So then I watched the RNC. They were saying how much they love the police, that we need more training for police, that we need more money for police. Leave the kids alone. Tight border security. And I was like, I like this. So then naturally the Don was running and I started getting a kick out of watching him debate people. Because I was like, man, he really makes these people look like morons. Are they morons? And when he didn't win the election in 2020, I was like, okay, well, I guess we'll move on with life and see what happens next time. Insert the horrific Afghanistan pullout, the weak border, our economy going to ish, and, the mandatory pokes. Tons of people losing their jobs simply because they didn't want to comply. And that is not something I agree with. And here comes all the pro-choicers. My body, my choice. Yeah, to a certain point. And then it's just... Then our last election was rolling around and I found myself talking about politics way more than my husband ever did. Because I was like, none of this is common sense. How are people aligning with this? How could anyone vote for Joe Biden? He is not mentally there. Then they had the debate where it was abundantly clear that Joe Biden had no business being out of the basement, let alone running our country. Insert Kamala. And then I was like, no way people are going to vote for this woman. She is an absolute idiot. Of course, you look at it like, they just don't like Trump. There's no way they actually like Kamala. Got it. And just like I've done with the last 2 election cycles, when 2028 rolls around, I will be watching everything and make the best choice for who I most align with. I encourage you to do that as well.
The reason I am so critical of the Democratic Party right now is because I literally just left it, just like a lot of other people. I was a bleeding heart liberal like all of you. I mean, blue hair and everything. I mean, believe me, I have plenty of pictures proving that I was all in. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have said there is no way in hell I will ever vote for Donald Trump. But let me tell you what changed my mind. The big moment for me was when the left started trying to push this like Nazi, Hitler, fascism narrative that they're trying to push right now. Like what y'all actually did is made a lot of us really go research Trump even harder. And we started to realize that a lot of things that you guys had shown us about Trump and things that he had said were taken way out of context. A lot of us started noticing a pattern where you guys were showing us like little 10-second clips of a 10-minute conversation that did not reflect the entirety of that conversation at all. So that was number one. And then around Thanksgiving, all of a sudden you guys are telling us that it would be better for us to sit at home and spend the holidays with no one than it would be to go home to your family who voted for Trump. When I heard that, I was like, okay, now y'all are wildin', because you cannot tell me that it is better for your mental health to sit at home alone than it is to go and spend time with your friends and family. Y'all had actual therapists getting on TV and telling you guys this. And the sad thing is that it would have been better for them to encourage you to do something like find other people that believe the same as you to spend the holidays with, but they didn't. They told you to stay in your home and spend the holidays with no one. When that happened, I was like, okay, I gotta give this party a second look because something is not right here. But honestly, if you want to know the truth, what really did it for me is realizing how freaking depressed I was when I was functioning as a liberal. Liberalism will literally make you hate yourself. It will make you hate your family. It will make you hate your friends. It will make you hate everything about the world. And I'm not saying that you should just be ignorant to everything that is going on in the world, but the way that the left chooses to internalize everything that is going on in the world is detrimental to their mental health. And this is why people try to tell you that empathy is dangerous. But even that you want to take out of context. Empathy itself is a great quality to have. Empathy without discernment is detrimental. You have got to be able to discern when you are carrying too much and you need to take a step back, and none of you are doing that. Believe me, it is possible to care about everything that is going on in the world and not let it consume every single thought that you have and every single conversation that you have. A lot of us are leaving the party in droves because you guys have made it impossible to have any sort of individual thought whatsoever. Like, for instance, if I say that I like RFK Jr. because I want bad chemicals out of my food and because I want to know what's in my vaccines, you will assume that I am someone who is anti-vax and anti-science, when in fact, all 3 of my kids and myself have been vaccinated. I just want to tell you guys something. Every Republican most likely voted for Trump. Every person that voted for Trump is not a Republican. The fact that you guys are so against Trump's administration right now, when most of his administration is former Democrats who have now left the party, y'all look wild. I mean, the Democratic Party has brainwashed people so hard that they are actually advocating against world peace right now. People on the left would rather us keep giving money to Ukraine to fund a war than to even fathom getting Ukraine and Russia at the table to try to agree to peace. A party that I joined because they were so anti-war and I was so against war now loves war all of a sudden. They have convinced you to love war so much that you are actually fighting for transgender people to be in the military when lots of groups of people are excluded for the military for very valid reasons. For instance, people like me who suffer from anxiety and depression, and even though I'm not currently medicated, I used to take medication for this, and that would disqualify me from serving in the military. And frankly, I don't have a problem with that. I know damn well that somebody like me has no damn business being on the front lines. Me having the conditions that I have make me a liability to the safety of this country. Like, don't get me wrong, I am all for trans rights, okay? I believe that you have the right to be whoever you want to be in whatever way makes you comfortable. But you really want the right to fight in the military? Like, that's the right, that's the hill that you want to die on? Like, bro, people don't get accepted to the military because they have bone spurs on their feet. And you are complaining about the fact that a transgender person can't make it into the military. Like, at this point, the left has convinced you to be so anti-Trump that they will get you to argue for things that you used to be against. And all of this summed up is exactly why you are losing people every single day. As bad as you think that you are making Trump look, all you are doing is making yourself look 10 times worse. And this last election very clearly showed that, because Trump increased his numbers across every single demographic, across women, across young voters, across Black Black Americans, across Hispanic Americans. Like, everyone came out to vote for Trump. And it is because we just cannot stand y'all anymore. So if you guys want to continue living in that kind of miserable existence, like, that is on you. We are not participating in that anymore. And by saying that, I'm not saying that we're not going to be participating in changing the state of the world, but we don't have to be miserable while we're doing it. So at this point, just forget everything that you have ever heard about Republicans, because I promise you, if you get a group of Trump voters in the room, you will not be able to put them all in one box. I promise you that. The Democratic Party is no longer the party of tolerance and inclusion and diversity. It's the new right. I heard someone else call us that, and honestly, I think we should start calling ourselves that. But I think we should coin ourselves as the new right, because that is so fitting. If that's you, then I am so glad you're here, and welcome to the new right. We would love to have you.
When I look at my life right now and I ask myself, which political party has made my life worse? It's not the Republican Party. Locally speaking, the Democrats have complete control, and they have nearly destroyed my family's livelihood. Okay? We are living in trash and squalor everywhere. And unless the Democratic Party actually acknowledge these issues and solve these issues, rather than stealing our taxpayer money and funneling it to their nonprofit friends, they keep doing this, they're going to keep losing. And I'm going to keep speaking out against them. I don't care how much they hate Trump. I don't care how naughty the Republicans are being. Right now, the people having a negative impact on my life is the Democratic Party, and they need to change their ways. When we say we want to change the status quo, it doesn't mean we want to live in anarchy. It doesn't mean that we want to have $24 billion of our taxpayer money in California stolen by these nonprofits. It means that we want working people to be rewarded for their hard work. We want affordable housing. We want better working conditions, higher wages, better health care. These are things that Democrats used to purport to want to do. They don't do any of it anymore. And so I'm done with them until they change their ways.
Yeah.
The Democratic Party is dead. That's right. The House of Representatives and the Senate are so divided, they're calling for Chuck Schumer because Chuck Schumer and some Democrats voted for the CR. But you know what? People are sick and tired of the gaslighting from the Democrats. First and foremost, think about what a narcissist does. They gaslight you. They get you so addicted to them that you feel like you cannot live without them. And what do Democrats do on a consistent basis? They create these overinflated, bloated programs to get you, to help you, addicted. Right? You get onto welfare. Do you ever get off of it? No. You get into housing. Do you ever get off of it? No. You just get enough to get by, right? It's like the little suckle of life. And so that you keep voting for it because you're just comfortable. Status quo. But you know what? More and more people are like, I'm a strong, independent American. I don't need the government to live my life. I'm going to go out there and create my own life. And that's why the Democrats are a mess right now, because their messaging is lost. People are sick and tired of relying on the government to fix their problems. Ronald Reagan said, the most dangerous words you'll ever hear is, hi, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Because at the end of the day, they make it much worse. And people are sick and tired of it. So this may be the beginning of the end for the Democratic Party unless they rebrand mightily. People are sick and tired, and they want change.
So I'm no longer voting blue, and I've been slowly changing my views, and I post a video on my burner account, and they are coming for me in the comments, okay? And just because I simply said, like, I'm changing my view, just like here, but like I didn't even use words, I just spelled some stuff out on the screen. Intolerant is the only word that I can think of to describe the way the left is attacking me. You guys cannot sit here and pretend to be this like loving, accepting force, but you're not. It's if nobody aligns with your delusions or you're the bullshit anymore, you guys come for them. And that is intolerant. That is not loving and accepting. People are allowed to have a different opinion than you and still also have some of the same values. The internet is wild. If I didn't need another reason why I have officially left the Democratic Party, it's all the going on right now with this trip to El Salvador. I saw all these prisoners, evil prisoners, be put on a plane and taken to El Salvador. And that's what people wanted, right? They wanted proof. They wanted to see proof that Donald Trump was doing what he said he was going to do, which is to take all the bad people out of our country and ship them off. And even that's not good enough. I woke up today, I see all these videos of all these liberals saying, oh, you know, they're making a mockery out of this and they're shaving their heads and it's cruel and unusual. And why do they have a camera crew there? And why are there drones flying around? Why are we seeing this whole thing? You know, this is a spectacle, blah, blah, blah. When you voted for Donald Trump, you wanted to see action and proof. And now that I'm not a part of the crazy lunatic Democratic Party, I'm actually glad that I'm seeing proof. I don't want these friggin' crazy ass people to be walking amongst us. He's not shipping off people that stole a loaf of bread at the local store or a mother that stole diapers. These are the worst of the worst. These are human traffickers. These are child abusers. People that are selling fentanyl in large amounts in the United States and have killed our brothers, our sisters, our aunts, our uncles, our friends, our family. What do you guys want? What do you want? You all are insane. You're insane. And I don't even care that I'm coming onto social media to say it. You're the same people, the people that are so upset about this El Salvador spectacle, as you call it. You're the same friggin' people who don't like Caroline Levitt. You're the same people that don't want any accountability in our federal government. You don't want them to look and see where all our money is going. You're all crazy. I'm glad that I'm out.
You see that comment right there? It's a prime example of why the Democrat Party currently has an approval rating lower than 40%. See, Democrats have gotten way too comfortable saying, oh, you're a black person, therefore I will dictate to you what is the appropriate way for a black person to act, for a black person to think, for a black person to vote. In the minute they find someone who dares to go against the grain, if you will, politically, they're the first ones to call that person an embarrassment. And that is because they think they have the right to control the way we act, the way we vote, and the way we think. And to be honest with you, I want them to keep doing it, because the more bold, the more brash they get with this train of thinking, this train of thought, the more individuals are going to keep moving away from the left, because people are sick and tired of being talked down to by individuals who claim to be the party of diversity, equity, inclusion, love, and tolerance. But the people who will also post a comment like that and think they have the moral high ground. It needs to end. It will end. But until it does, Democrats are going to continue to get less and less popular with the American people. And you can take that to the bank.
And there you have it, taters. I have about 3 more, but they're a little long and I don't want to make this video too long, but you get the gist of it. So I'm so glad I got a chance to make this video, because I was collecting these videos in the process, and now I can put them all together and upload it to you all and listen to what you have to say in the comments. You know, I love engaging with some of you all in the comments section, so please keep that up. But in the time being, what I want you to do is like the video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Okay? Later, taters. Danny.